course, that's in the crush of her gravity well, but that's fine. Because Saturn has dedicated her life to being a fucked up loser. That's dialectics. I thought for sure I could make you squirm, but you're so perfect. You're even better at accepting you're not perfect than me. We love her for being a fucked up loser. And that's not to say I'll let up for a moment, no matter how bad at this I am. I love that. It's a great thing about you. You don't know how strong your belief is. You know you're going to lose, but fight anyway. Believe you're going to win even so. I always win even when I lose. I would never go in if I didn't know that. Electrotoxic waves sting the Krun macula as she embraces the string of pearls. It's like making out with a battery. It's uncomfortably like getting electrocuted, but comfortably like making out. Sometimes making out is getting electrocuted. Hey gamers! I'm playing Where Heaven Will Be Mine. We're gonna start the Pluto route today. Oh, you sent me a Shadowheart Carlock meme? Hi Lorelai, how's it going? How's I just asked that. My brain isn't working today, so we'll see how the stream goes. They're gay, Your Honor. I like Shadowheart a normal amount. But we're gonna play as Pluto. Faction: Cradle's Grace's ship self Krun macula. Cradle's Grace's ultimate weapon pilot. Oh, she's just like Shadow the Hedgehog. Even if Earth has given up on a new life for humanity in space, Cradle's Grace's hasn't, and Pluto will make that dream come true. Likes, succulents, good girls, crushing, both kinds, and everyone. Dislikes, is trying very hard not to have any. Cradle's Graces. Narrated up ice, whatever. Intangible distance out of ourselves. Communication with what is not. The unknown. The perception of impossible things. And every distance in between. With perfect communication, breath to breath. With perfect communication, skin to skin. With perfect communication, mouth to mouth, inside to inside, blood to blood. With perfect understanding across the bonds of culture. With perfect understanding across the boundaries of culture. With perfect access to the realization of the highest ideals. With perfect access to the acceptance of the deepest depths. Well, the solar system maps the human's body. The human body, even. The solar system maps culture. In the center is the sun, which is synthesis. When the physical bodies of the solar system become our home, our ship through the universe, our body, their names will be given again. From the name of a rock, such as Hades, to the name of a part of us and ourselves, such as Pluto. You are the sun. Through you, humans will possess their true body. As you were once born, through us, we too wish. Base override system interrupt. Dr. Nix. Pluto. Hi, Doctor. I lost you for a moment there. Are you okay? I'm fine, Doctor. This is the first interface of its kind. Is there anything unusual about it? That will be hard to tell. Oh, if there's anything unusual about it. Because by definition, it is very unusual. I'll try to let you know if it feels especially unusual, Nix. It just immediately drops you in the esotericism right out the gate. Good. Good. Let me know if something categorically impossible happens. Like what? If your sync got so deep that your thoughts were being dumped into the OS code directly, for example. Oh, you mean what just happened? If that happens, I'll let you know. Are you ready to begin? I've been ready for a long time. Begin activation test. Macula firmware loading. She lied. A liar princess. Dual tidal reactor syncing. Welcome to Cradle's Grace's bootloader. Oh why can't I? V.5.666.9123. Bootlegging gravitational reactor. Done. Hyperdensity established. Done. Beginning resonance test. You should feel lightheadedness and weight. The phrase mouth-to-mouth communication is seared onto your brain. Really, I can't imagine why. Wait until you're comfortable before diving in. Correct action, correct thought, correct belief. Existing without fault. Existing without ever harming the universe. To be the execution of what is right and good. The power over distance is also the power to harm. Harm by thinking. Harm by breathing. Harm by loving. Harm by touching. Harm by culture. Harm by boundaries. Harm by idealism. Harm by depression. Harm by infinity. Mouth to mouth, skin to skin, blood to blood. That's gay culture right there. Let us talk of harm by infinity. If the 9th planet of the solar system is not a planet, it is because it represents the point at which humans cross over into that which they are not. A phenomenon that is itself existentially threatening, regardless of how or if that phenomenon manifests. That is the sea of possibility itself. All hopes and fears will... Pluto. How is the response? I'm normal about blood, I promise. Me, normal about blood? It's more likely than you think. I'm doing great? Nothing weird. Like a computer, I accept it. All data, I accept it. All wishes, I accept them. I'm an infinite engine. I'm a star. I know exactly how. Execute and accept. System accepting and executing. Reactor core's perfect resonance. No margin of error. Nix, you can hear me, right? Loud and clear, Pluto. Is it working? You're not saying anything. It's working perfectly. Flawless. On the first try. You really are the one who brings impossible things. You're thinking too hard about it, Doctor. I can't do things like that. Be a little more generous to yourself. But it's also your right not to be. Pilot core link. Done. Do you feel centered? Yes. Do you feel the phantom presence of the ship's limbs? This is normal. Yes. Do you feel the presence of other bodies or other people nearby? This is normal. Yes. Do you feel as if other nearby people or bodies may also be your own body? This is not normal. How would I know the difference? Fair. Do you feel like a god yet? What a question to ask right after. Me every day waking up, poking my girlfriend. Hey babe, do you feel like a god yet? Not really. Legion coded. Not really. There's no need to be modest. Prep for launch. I love how big Prone Macula feels like through the soundtrack. Like it feels like this pulsing, gigantic, like entity just right over my shoulder. It's really good, actually. Like the Crisium was always screaming, and I don't remember what String of Pearls sounded like because I missed it. I wasn't thinking about it that brainwormy then. I guess I'll replay Saturn, because I like Saturn. I wanna do some betrayals, so. It hasn't been that long since we all started fighting, but... It sounded like liquid skittery. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Everything really did go just how I imagined it. Even holding the controls of the machine everyone's so scared of. Just like this, doesn't feel like butterflies or dread. It feels like the only thing that could have happened. You know how hard they worked because they're so scared you wouldn't be finished in the end. Little glitchy too, because of course Saturn was hacking the fuck out of it. Yeah. God. Ugh, I miss Saturn. I guess I'll see her soon. I never doubted it. I'm not so special they couldn't make something scary enough for me to be its pilot. Humans are culture, and culture is gravity. A ship's self is a skin, but a ship's self is also a heart. The plastic and metal chassis, insulated against hard vacuum, is necessary to not die. The tidal reactor, which generates the gravity and culture necessary to keep humans solid and real so far from Earth, is necessary to live. Me full of electrotoxins, yum. The full of microplastics, that's the original. The dual tidal reactor resonance system installed in the Crown Macula then might be capable of a sort of birth. The Crown Macula was completed on the inert pseudoplanet Hades, on the boundary between the solar system ruled by human gravity and that which isn't. I like that, so full from eating cigarettes. Yeah, that one too. I love how, Lunaterra is the, like, inverse of everyone else, because you've got Saturn and you've got Pluto, but then the planets are, Hades and, Cronus? That's Saturn, right? But then with Lunaterra, you have the opposite. It's really fun. I like how, like, it feels like another way that Lunaterra, like, distances herself from everyone else. Like, she doesn't get the real name. She gets the fake name, compared to the other people who get the real names. It's good. We're not here to think about Lunaterra being sad yet. We're here to think about Pluto being cool. The boundary between the solar system ruled by human gravity and that which isn't. When the ship self is activated, cosmic dust emanating from between the ship self's palms is crushed in the friction of the competing forces of the Crown Macula's dual tidal reactors and ignites in the birth of a tiny star. Lunaterra, a dead rock. Mood! It's a start, an anchor of gravity and culture for humans to begin colonizing the stars. The seed of possibility, and just as easily, the seed of the inversion of possibility. Stars go supernova and become black holes, where the information of life, culture, is deleted. But they aren't afraid of Crown Macula as much as they are afraid of Pluto. Her own tidal forces destroyed the first 17 prototypes. It's the girl with the love to be the mother of stars they're afraid of. Her name is the last 2/3 of a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich. Really makes you think. Actually, it stands for lesbian transgender, but I know where you might get confused about that. It's the girl with the love to be the mother of stars they're afraid of. Don't build me up like that. I'm not that special. Oh, she's already reading the narrative. I see how it is. But I am that scary. I'm used to it. The only thing I just can't get over. It's just how unfair it all feels. Wow, a lesbian transgender sandwich, huh? It makes you think about how tasty that would be. We put the lesbians and the transgenders in between two pieces of bread and then we take a bite. Haven't even gotten to the spicy part of the game yet. I didn't even mention sandwich lube. I hate when people call it that. It just makes me so, like, why would you do this to yourself? Why would you call it sandwich lube? Um, it is terrible. I love it. I love how everyone in chat is a different kind of purple. This is Purple Town. It's actually really funny. Pluto, Saturn, Lunati, truly a lesbian transgender sandwich. It's so true. I'm stacking them all together. Knowing how bad this could get, how wrong it could go, it's still happening anyway. The Krun macula is bigger than other ship selves in terms of its objective gravitational impression on spacetime. Yeah, I am feeling everything at once. But I'm feeling big too. Feeling so big. Oh, I can feel it. Far and away. The sword of the real Mare Crisium, come to cut our dreams down. And the toxin of the inverse, string of pearls, come to turn the earth inside out. They're incredible girls, I can tell. But now Cradle's Graces has the power to fight back and keep space our home forever. Feeling so big. I know I meant to do this. I've been trained my whole life to be the 1 in a million who can pilot this. I know I want to do this. Space is the only place where everyone can be happy. Even if almost no one believes it, I want to keep it safe. I know what I need to do, what I have to do. Now, I just have to do it. That's nothing compared to what it took to learn how. My body, my mind, my soul, they're all in order. I just have to do it. Should I read these? Should I read them? Because I've done it twice already. I think they're long, but maybe I'll just do it anyway. I think it's fine. It's January 1st, 1980, and the long and cold war where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we have been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. That is a pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it? When there's enough of a mess down here to worry about. Humanity is already the undisputed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety, in agreement with our own planet's unanimous decision, declare there is no future for humanity in space. Let's go home. Let's come home. The Return Resolution, Memorial Foundation. It's January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without their gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. To power the ship selves we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now. Enough to make a new world, free from the weight of the Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our Cradle's Graces. But we're not coming back. Independence Declaration. Cradle's Graces. I don't know why that's hard to say. It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by a divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat. And when they do, they'll send real weapons, then end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? We are technically less than 100% human. Just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship self string of pearls we made in the atmosphere of planet Cronus. Planet Cronuts. I want to go to planet Cronut. Planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn. To the lunar gravity well, where Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we are just short of 100% human. Let's see how much less than 100% we can get. Oh, wow. That's a lot of red. It's because she's a communist. Okay. Oh. I still can't believe it. Love that from here. Mars, Generation 2 pilot, first class. DM's open for fight requests. Oh, and Pluto's just says, I'm thankful for my Cradle's Graces, but we're not coming back. That's good. It has her fingerprint, too. That's interesting. Mars time! I'm so excited. Yeah? What was it like? It was incredible. For a moment, I felt like I was right next to you. It was even stronger than all the times you tested the prototypes. Stronger than the one time they let you fight before. Mars is so bullyable. I love bullyable girls. It's amazing. I've been training so long, I never knew how different it would feel to have my own, perfectly suited just for me ship's health. I'm gonna be extra mad at all of you for how long you left me behind. Is it really safe, though? Mars! Don't start. I'll get mad. It's just more powerful than anything that's ever been developed. I don't like that Dr. Nix is making you do something untested all by yourself. No one person should have to do all the things your unit is expected to do. But I'm strong enough to do it, right? Powerful enough to stop Earth from taking us back? Strong enough to stop celestial mechanics from bringing the existential threat back? I can do it, right? I mean, of course you can. No one else could, but that doesn't mean you should do it alone. I'm not alone. I've got you. And everyone else. We're all together. That's what we wanted, isn't it? I'm not locked up in a lab anymore. Aren't you happy for me? I'm happy for you. Are you really, really happy for me? I'm super happy for you. I really am. Are you scared of me now? No way. Never. You're not something to be afraid of. Aw, but that's wrong. You should be scared. I'm incredible. I love Macula's, like, trumpets. Subject, unacceptable. Origin, Cradle's Graces Formation Archives. Author, Executive Director, Dr. Nix. The funding is being cut again. They aren't getting the results they want. They think it's indulgent. They don't care about how the kids feel. It warms their hearts to see them grow unimpeded by the gravity of Earth, but it also disturbs them. They love our beautiful, free, glittering children, but when we talk about bringing Earth's children here, they look away. The children of space are not bound by the same laws of gravity and do as they like with their bodies and souls. You have insisted that they can endure the gravitational forces of Earth, but have you considered that their tidal forces do not wish to accommodate them? They will be smoothed back again, or broken, at the very least. They will never stop trying to destroy them. Oh. That was quick. We have created magnificent, delicate creatures, and Earth wants them back. For what? To crush them again under their own tidal forces? Oh, maybe it was her messaging Europa. That would make sense. Subject, who is this? Ambient title information. A love story. I don't know who I'm sending this to, but I think about you all the time. In the back of my mind, I know a lot about you. Does that mean you know about me too? Or are you just glowing brightly in a way that I don't understand? Is anyone else seeing this? Do you get messages like this all the time? Are you aware of how much you loom in the heart of someone you haven't met? What am I expecting? I don't even know. This is really awkward. Sorry for doing this. It must really be hard. No, I can't really know that. This is delusional of me. I'm going to make it stop, because if I don't, I'm going to come to hate you. Because I'm already so frustrated I'm nothing like you. I need to understand why I tear myself apart thinking about you. I'm not going to send this. I don't know how to send this, and I hope you never read it. Just because the we are and the other party insisting that kids can survive Earth and Nick's being all, that's not the point. Yeah, that makes sense. They're both they're the parents. I do still think it's very funny that some people are calling Europa dad. Alright, Saturn return. In the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after? And will they get it? Pluto, why are you suiting up? The Celestial Mechanics Lab was wrecked and the prototype escaped. We should be heading back to the inner solar system. She's such a dad, though. Yeah, she is. She is still here. Who? Mars, you get in a fight. Dad Europa and Mom Nyx, and worst guy. Shithead of the year. Who? Some incredibly ridiculous, utterly irresponsible, dangerously devious brat. I'm not who you're talking about, right? Mars is so cute! Don't be silly. You're not devious at all. Then who? Also, hey! They're being very tricky, so I can't tell, but I have rough coordinates. They slip between the cracks in the universe, play fast and loose with the laws of physics, staying hidden and out of sight, but being really smug about it. This is your weird uncle with the Joe Rogan bumper sticker on his pickup truck. And buddy, I'm making him experience dirt. I think they're showing off. So, it couldn't be anyone but the pilot of the Celestial Mechanics prototype, right? What? Why? That's stupid. What sort of pilot would be that irresponsible with a prototype? Hey, Mars, when you were in the Academy, how many prototypes units did you wreck? Let's not talk about that now. I'm just teasing, Mars. You're much better behaved now. Oh my god, and the teasing doesn't stop. She's so bullyable. She looks so soft. Sorry, Mars is really cute. I like her little... I like all of her birthmarks. If the intel is true, the prototype is really powerful, even against you. I know, I might not be able to stop her. This location is the experimental lab. It was shut down right before Earth canceled the space program. I don't like this place, Pluto. It's like they shut down Daphni's lab and converted it into the perfect site for an ambush. Mars clearly inheriting the, wow, what do you do with your hair? It's so fluffy of Venus. Yeah. Really? It's too much for me? Well, it's stronger than the fleet I destroyed. I mean, I'm not saying you're not strong enough, but a stealth mission against a secret weapon is different. No one knows what Celestial Mechanics is planning, but it's always awful. It's definitely a trap. This mission to the outer planets is only to destroy Celestial Mechanics labs and prevent the Memorial Foundation from recovering the prototype. Mars, if you keep trying to protect me, I'll get mad. But I'm... Let me have the tiniest bit of fun. I'll be fine. After all, I have a lot of experience correcting unruly show-offs who act out for attention. Daphnis, the tiny shepherd moon, so small it barely earns the name, tumbles through the Keller Gap, ruffling the rings of the planet it orbits. It houses the last official laboratory of Earth's decommissioned space program, training ground of failures like Saturn, and special girls like Pluto. Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No, wait. Pluto remembers it that way. Saturn remembers when it used to feel so special to be chosen, a candidate for the last generation of pilots. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes two things are true. Oh, it's the Keeler Gap in our reality. I see. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating, and distances are becoming ambiguous between past and present, between me and you. The Daphnis lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto, and that's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in an apple. But there's a much bigger worm here, and she doesn't know if this was a good idea. What was a good idea? Saturn doesn't have any ideas. She's just trying to hide. Even though there's no place where you can not be felt by me? Alert. Tidal resonance IFF confirms enemy. Warning. Gravitational hazard. Danger. Pressure exceeding safe range. I know, it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous. Supermassive. Small enough to hide in this complex, but with a dual reactor denser than the entire moon compressed into the head of the pin. An hour ago, and Saturn felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and so powerful, the interior of her cockpit creaked with the pressure, and her head, her heart, and eyes welled up with tears. Something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto. Cool, she must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find? Saturn has no idea. Why do I have the feeling someone's laughing at me? No one is laughing at Saturn. The lab's been abandoned for years. But Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way. She really does think it's cute. I haven't thought about Pluto in a long time. Oh man, it really would be funny if she was in that monster. Well, now someone is laughing at Saturn. Hey! Now I know someone's here. I can feel you listening. But I can hear you too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with the narrative. Narrow escape. Mutually assured destruction. Cradle's graces. Thankful for our Cradle's graces, but we're not coming back. It's easiest to catch someone if you don't care you might get caught yourself. Besides, if you want to drive someone wild, you gotta show them they're worth catching. And that you're good enough to catch them too. The lab is dark. The malfunctioning lights cast an eerie glow. Dying culture, without gravity to hold it together. But she can hear the faint laughter rippling in the gravity, and where it's coming from. When you don't know the controls, mashing all the buttons at once is just as good. Got you. It's a hit. Her claws sink in. They tremble in the pressure. Whatever they've sunk into is bigger than belief. The Crown Macula towers over Saturn. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits in the complex, but it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Supermassive enough to warp local spacetime, humming and vibrating with nebula dust. Incredibly gentle, or she would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying. Oh wow, you got me. No matter what size it appears, in the truest, most real sense of size, The ship is bigger than this moon than anything Saturn can imagine. String of Pearls quickly flicks away, but Crun Macula's grip is on her before she can twitch. And I've got you, Saturn. I was really surprised to see you like this. Cool, right? I've got poison now, too. Want to see if you're still the top weirdo psychic mutant in space? Oh, wow. Sounds really cool. But I don't know if you're ready yet. Wanna bet? Sure. The string of pearls screeches and buckles as the dust ignites and a tiny portion of Pluto's tidal forces slam into her. Warning, gravity hazard. Had enough. Just for the pounce of a moment? Yeah. You kidding? Okay, we can turn it up. God, Pluto really is a top. Or a dom. Sorry. My brain is gooey right now. From the Pluto being a dom. Both? Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not disrespecting her. Oh, that sure is insane. It feels like my brain is melting into the universe. You're the one who wanted to show off. You don't have to do that to endear yourself to me. But if you really want to impress me, you're going to have to do better than that. Yeah? You're really still not impressed? Even by this? By what? Ooh, that does sting. It spreads like a poison, even through metal. It jumps like electricity, but drips like a liquid. Pink and impossible, and spreading quickly through the Crun Macula's body. So, you're not just full of risky, bad ideas. That makes me happy. I won't shut you down too hard. Okay. You win. You gonna be good now? I can't find the Saturn voice and it's bothering me. Okay. Wait. Okay. So, what did you want to talk about? Risky bad ideas describes my 20s. Oof, I'm sorry. As Cradle's Grace's glittering psychic death machine, you definitely have more important things than to go out of your way to bully me for no reason, right? Oh, that's right. That man and the fleet are escaping, aren't they? Hope you don't mind falling for this trap. Trap? You? Silly. I know you're more important than that. More than catching the rest of Celestial Mechanics' fleet? I knew this would be fun, and you knew it too. I am absolutely delighted about you doing that, just to be clear, so you don't have to read my mind to roast me about it. I can't read minds. You know that's not how it works. But I also don't need to know that. But I did know how I did want to know how the biggest overachiever of my juniors turned into such a bad girl. If you really remembered me, you'd remember I wasn't ever good. Oh, you think it's one of the first ones they wrote? That makes a lot of sense. I do remember you. Even if you're not that good at being bad. Do you know what you're doing? With that machine that's so dangerous we don't even want to find out what it does? I think you answered your own question about why I'm keeping it. Are you gonna stop me then? But you don't want to? Hey, stop. Don't pry into me. If you're pitying me, I'll make sure you regret it. Not all of us come out as perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they see any use at all. I won't pity you. I really would have torn this machine apart. But now that I'm here, gifted little mutant to gifted little mutant, I can't bear to. Gifted little mutant girls that recognize each other. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Hello, Xander. How's it going? I hope you're doing good. Lab-grown girls like us should just stick together. I might still make you regret it. Winning isn't my most important task. It's not yours either. Are you sure about that? You're not the one I'm worried about. It's only your boss I can't forgive. Mood. Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. I'm getting a crush already. Regretting it now? Don't worry. There's nothing you can make me regret. I wish you didn't have to do this. But I love chatting with you. Especially about your latest sordid affairs. Well, thanks. Wait, that's not what I meant. It's sordid. Dramatic, tempestuous, explosive. No. Problematic. No. Tumultuous. That's sexier. But that's still bad. I mean, how would you describe them? Not like that. Intense or something. The last one was really good, until the end. Should I be more generous? Well, it would be nice. But you're not very good at relationships. Tell me. It's kind of cute. You love people so much, you forget about them completely. Your honesty really hurts sometimes, you know? You fall for glittering, faraway girls, but what you really need is someone who doesn't put up with you. There's got to be someone, somewhere, who won't let you get away with anything. I believe in you. I'm trying to save the world. I don't really have time for this. But you're not too busy to keep flirting? Pluto, God! Sorry, baby. No mercy for you. It's out of love. One day you're going to be as good at treating girls as you are piloting. Don't twist the knife. Sorry. Heart. It's fine. I know I'm not great at it. Hey. You did that thing again. Hmm? What thing? You know the thing. Where you changed the topic. And I forgot what I wanted to talk to you about. So you don't have to answer. Except I have a chat log and I can scroll back and see. It's sweet you wish I didn't have to fight. So you do remember. You remember better than I do. But why don't we leave it at that? Why? Because there's nothing we can do about it. Pluto can be a little manipulative as a treat. She is a princess after all. We could find a way. I don't want to do this if you don't have to. Chat? No, I mean fight. Oh, you just did it again. Poor Mars. Regarding Mecha 2 Macula, Operations Decommission Chair Europa. It was commissioned before I had a pilot, before the technology for piloting had been developed, before the technology for its workings had been developed. I think we recognized that the construction was an act of faith. Nyx's directive was to create the sort of self we wished to see. I think, of course, that was the moment it was clear to me that Nyx was fighting for what she believed humans could be, but not who humans were. I think at the time I didn't understand the difference. Or what Nyx might not consider important because of her tendency to think this way. Many of the functions of the crown macula have not been invented yet. It is limitlessly expandable. I have, of course, requested for it to be decommissioned, but I believe ultimately you'll want to scrap it. If this community has indeed found nothing in space worth salvaging, I would have to wonder about the committee's intentions and their curiosity towards this last fragment. The end results of the crown macula's functions are indistinguishable from Nyx's dreams, so there's no briefing I can provide that will be more comprehensive than the ones you received from Nyx herself. I can only speculate on which she has or has not been able to implement successfully. As terrifying as the crown macula is, the pilot Dr. Nyx has found for it is more terrifying by far. They might find a way to make it move even yet. Pluto, like, everyone should be more honest and accepting of their feelings and struggles so they can get the help they need and then not take their own advice. That's the culture. We can dish it out, but we can't take it. Subject: tidal theory and celestial mechanics. General information record pull. Let us, Director of Celestial Mechanics, Iapetus. Ugh. Let us begin with imagining an inert theoretical mass of matter, equivalent physically in all ways to the third body in the solar system. Theoretical planet Terra, absent of human culture. How would we model the physical properties of such a planet, where Jungian Newtonian models do not apply? The soft science of celestial mechanics is not purely a thought exercise, but an inquiry into what, if any, default physical properties would exist in the universe without the influence of culture, because of its potential application in space colonization, for its use in modeling the physics of foreign celestial bodies, and the utility. Fuck Iapetus, this is a really good email. Yeah, it is. The utility of the concept of Terra in the philosophical hard sciences for more precisely defining Earth as the lands of human dominion rather than a specific physical body, celestial mechanics have been integrated as a branch of contemporary metacultural general relativity. What would it be like to imagine a world in which humans have one-to-one dominion over real phenomena? In such a world, we might think of gravity in multiple senses, since the agency of humanity over each other mentally, spiritually, and culturally would not be the same as physically. The conversion of matter into energy, and energy into culture, and culture back to matter again is complicated by distortions caused by culture's ability to arbitrarily set conversion parameters. This is caused not because of the power of human gravity, but actually by its weakness and incompleteness. In the theoretical universe in which humanity has full dominion over the physical universe, the influence of culture would be a one-to-one constant, and the physical universe would abide by inflexible, fundamental laws. In such a world, we would have to separate fields of study that involve metaphors from ones that describe worldly phenomenon, because our world would be objectively determined. While humans would be able to disagree and defy each other, they would ascribe to an inflexible, perfect system as decided by humanity. Ooh. Retrograde in retrograde. Chasing after the string of pearls, Lunaterra and Pluto find each other instead. It's been almost a year since they last saw each other, and Lunaterra has never seen Pluto like this. Are you ready to spin backwards? Mars, are you okay? You looked like someone punched you in the face. What happened? Someone punched me in the face. He really is emblematic of that type of professor, an interesting, enjoyable writer who's also a fascist groomer. It's been so long since you got in a fight with the flight crew. It feels a little nostalgic. I'm fine, by the way. People who start fights don't get sympathy. They started it when they wouldn't let me fly. She's doing the face. I love that face. And who threw the first punch? That part doesn't matter. If they don't let me go, then you'll have to fight that traitor all by your... Shit. Oh. Why didn't I feel it earlier? Oh, of course she's here. It wasn't that I was going to tell you. Memorial Foundation also knows about the prototype, and they sent their ace to get it. No, I understand. You were so excited, you just had to run out and see her, huh? You got that right. Run out and punch that traitor Lunatera in the face as hard as I can. Aw, she's the worst. After pretending she was going to fight for the colonies, even after Earth abandoned us and demanded we come home, she double-crossed us. We were going to do this together. She didn't have a choice. She's on a tight leash. I saw someone play and riff on the "you look like someone punched you in the face" with "someone punched me in the face" in their Mars place, and then they clicked to the next line and died. I've done that before. It's really funny. I have missed punching that insufferably smug face for a year. It's finally time to show her that we're not going to forgive her for betraying us at the worst moment, leaving us alone, barely able to keep fighting against Cradle's graces. But it's not like we ever needed her, and I know. I miss her too. Are you not listening to me? I've been listening to the two of you say the same things about each other for a really long time, and it doesn't sound any different. It is nothing like it was before. I'm not playing games. When we were in the academy, you were always chasing after her. You'd swing the first punch, and she'd laugh, and the two of you would fight, and then you'd make out, and then you'd do it all over again. I miss that so much. But if you go after her, it'll happen just like that all over again. Let's put the two people with commitment issues next to each other and make them kiss. Ugh. The glory of the days of the Mars Lunatique Pluto Polycool. That sounds so chaotic. I love it. Do my bones cracking come through on the mic when I stretch? Because that would be really funny. Ugh. Stop talking about me like I'm not predictable. It's different now. Orders are orders for a reason, you know. My wife's making me drink water. What a crime. I'm still not okay with it. They're making you use that terrifying machine. It's way too dangerous. I'm sorry, I really am. But Mars, if it makes you feel any better... What, you're breaking up? I can't wait to fight her. I love her, understand her, and forgive her. It's just the same as the Saturn one, but with more brawling and marginally less scratching and biting. I'm still mad. How come you both got to have all the fun? Who wants to stay at home while you two get to fight and make out? You don't know how scary this machine is, Mars. And it's so much less scary than me. I don't want you to see me like that. But I really, really want Lunatera to see. Pluto, you cut out for a second there. What did you say? I said tough luck. It's my chance to shine now. Like waking up underwater to the wet burn of your lungs' desperation for air. I love that Pluto glitches reality out just so she can be big and scary without freaking Mars out. It's great. she's using her psychic powers for only good things. Like floating untethered in space, unable to move under your own power. Losing the security of gravity is like being naked in space. Gravity is necessary for human life in space. Gravity is necessary for unrestricted movement in space. Can't have one without the other. The force that binds your existence together. The force to shape foreign bodies. Pure agency. Gravity is necessary not just to live in space, but to be human on space. Or in space, even. But being human is a little harder for Pluto, so she has to work for it. The tidal forces of her spacefaring body, the Crun Macula, are as strong as she believes and as weak as she feels. And Lunaterra needs to make sure all the calculations are in order. Everything in her ship operates manually. She's just been at it long enough that it feels like a second skin. The jolt of nostalgia interrupts Lunaterra's mental math. She forgets to carry the one. It interrupts Pluto's focus and she has a moment where she's not invincible. Close enough to touch the surface of the moon lab, Lunaterra is seen and known by Pluto, and they are suddenly falling down the well of too late and nothing you can do. I knew it. Warning, gravitational interference. It's important to get a grip. Knowing that there's nothing you can do is something Pluto considers freeing, and Lunaterra considers exciting. Feeling doomed is clear permission to do whatever. As soon as Mare Crisium is through the cloud cover, she fires solid light into the remains of the Celestial Mechanics lab and chases it through the wound. The lab was recently damaged by the illegal launch of a hijacked ship, but that damage is barely noticeable compared to the massive hole left by a much, much larger ship crashing through. Imagine being doomed by the narrative. I'm imagining it, and I don't want to be doomed by the narrative. Narrative, please spare me, thank you. I'll be really nicey. Lunaterra acts fast under pressure. If there's no point in hiding, there's no point in stopping. It's true. Lunaterra is living on the whim of Crun Macula, which can probably do whatever to her at any time. If she can't run away, she wants to make the first move. It's the sort of thing that makes a lot of sense if you think about it, and no sense at all if you think a little more. But that's Lunaterra, isn't it? She is betting you'll think too much, or not enough. Against Pluto, is that really such a good idea? She's someone who always thinks just enough. Which makes it easy for Lunaterra to slip through, deep into the lab, until it gets quiet, except for the sounds of the moon quaking and trembling. After almost a year, the dread and the thrill is way too much to slow down and start talking. That's what the arrow flying into Pluto's gravity well is saying. Who will make the first move? When Lunaterra punctures the last armor layer and opens up the terminal cavern, light spills out and screaming sound because the Crun Macula is peeling the lab and most of the moon inside out with the forces of its own tides. You're thinking about that sketch of Saturn biting someone's hand now? Oh, I'm gonna go look at it right now. If I can find it. I was actually, I don't know if people know about this, but, there was, I found a very niche, podcast. I don't know how niche it is, but, well, Max Schwartz retweeted it, and so I was like, I like listening to podcasts while I'm at work. It's how I get through the day. And I slowly am running out of podcasts to listen to because I listen to so much podcasts. But so they did an interview on this, and they talked. It's a really fun podcast because it's mostly just trans people talking about art and making their art, and it rocks. But one of the things they said was that the original concept of Heaven Will Be Mine was Grinder for mech pilots, and it isn't not that, but it is a little different. But The thought that it could be, like, even more horny and unhinged is wild. Like, they toned it down. I love this for them, but, like, oh my god. You walked in on the phrase horny and unhinged. Nora, you should stay. This is the part where it's like new stuff is happening, so you like don't need to actually know anything. Do you need me to start a second podcast so you have more podcasts to listen to? I mean, ideally, if you start a second podcast, I think I would be on that podcast. I mean, not to make myself sound important or anything, but like, I would want to do that. Yeah, it's more apparent if you watch the gameplay of the original demo. I bet. No, I have plenty of podcasts. Izzy recommended me a good one. I've been enjoying listening to Dice Funk. Okay, what's our podcast about? No, I don't have time to think about it right now. My brain is gooey. I'm sorry your sinuses are in revolt. We're just slowly making a podcast that is our games. Wanna look at the... You wanna be the sensible one? Fascinating. It doesn't matter what I want. Where's her chomp? I will find it. Oh, I guess I won't find it right now. Doesn't matter what I want, it just always happens. You're the cause of much of the unhingedness. I just need you to know. You're the one who wrote that Tiv fic. And thank you for doing it. When Lunaterra punctures the last armor layer and opens up the terminal cavern, light spills out and screaming sound, because the Krun macula is peeling the lab and most of the moon inside out with the forces of its own tides. It's not something that's impossible or anything. It's just something that's only possible in theory, which is still terrifying. More terrifying. And more terrifying than that power is Pluto's finesse. And more terrifying than the finesse is her gentleness, spooling matter like threads in the tiny galaxy of which she is the sun. Because Tiv is redacted to comply with terms of service. It's true. She sure fucking is. Her power is very kind, but it's also a little perverse. What meaning does mercy have from something that can core out a moon? Least horny sentence in the entire game. Krun Macula's developers compared it to a black hole. They wanted a machine so powerful and absolute, even light couldn't escape it. Lunaterra understands now that was wrong. She is a star, gushing and twinkling with matter and light. Who wouldn't be swept up in that? The Merecrisium is so small. Pluto has never seen it from a perspective like Krun Macula's before. She never imagined it would look so fragile from here, like a toy version of the fierce fighter she remembered. Gushing, you say? To shreds, you say? Yeah, like a gusher. Her head is water. I see. Pluto's sense of scale is true. Lunaterra feels like just a plastic toy, too. Just like a plastic toy, too. Come on, say something. It's making me sad. It really does fit you. So much more than I ever thought. Is it hard to look away? Being able to render you speechless is the power I've always dreamed of. What do you think? I know just a look won't change your mind, but I want you to tell me. Tell you what? That I regret betraying you? Oh god, that was Pluto, the Lunatar with the Pluto voice. What's wrong with this? Something's up with this picture. That I regret betraying you? I told you then that I always would. No, no, I won't let you do that, Lunati. Did you think I'd be mad? I mean, of course I'm mad at you, but not for anything you did to me. I wouldn't even be mad at you, wouldn't ever be mad at you for not having enough faith in me to see through Cradle's Grace's dream of a new home for humans in space. Bottom of the art gallery page right next to the one of Saturn on Mercury's lap. I couldn't find it on mobile, so I don't know. I can check again, but I'm just mad at you for not having enough faith in yourself to see it through. And leaving all the work to me. Oops. I guess that's why I'm a little upset with you. Not mad, you know. Yeah, Phantom Wikis on mobile, yeah. The Halloween one where she's all roughed up was kinda, oh, I get why people like Hallie now. People just like bullying her. She's a little whiny baby and she deserves everything she gets. Oh, you DM'd it to me? Thank you, Lorelai, for saving my life. Oh, she chomp. I have seen this one. She bite. Saturn go hump. Just disappointed. I can't believe I'm still the one scolding you like a kid. I'm trying to be the grown-up, you know. I did the responsible thing. I took the realistic option. I'm here to play the part of the boring adult, the grown-up villain. Oh, that's right. I remembered why I actually am mad at you. You better not go down quietly. You better really believe what you just said. I'll forgive you if you left us for something stupid, but I'll never forgive you if you left us for something you don't believe in. And you'd better not believe in it, because I also won't forgive you for fighting for a future that cruel. That doesn't leave me a lot of options. I don't think I can fight against that. Don't you dare. I won't forgive that either. Were you hoping, maybe, that it wouldn't be like this? Soppingest what? The soppingest, sulkingest beast in space? Is that Lunatar or Halamede? Because both, yes. But I'm thinking about that Halamede tweet where it's like, you should be able to just leave your butch out in the rain, and then when she comes in, like a wet cat. That one's so silly. I think that's fine a little bit. It's fine to leave a butch out in the rain, actually. Like, you shouldn't overdo it, but but if you don't answer the door for a few minutes, so her hair gets dripping wet and she visibly loses about half her body mass like a wet dog, that's normal and nobody will blame you. People sell hair product to try and recreate this look, but it's actually a lot less humane and more natural to just leave her outside for a little while. If it isn't raining, you can substitute with a shower, but remember, the water has to be cold. The Saturn LT gaming images, they're gaming. Were you hoping, maybe, that it wouldn't be like this? That I wouldn't have to fight? It'll change you. In ways you don't understand. I've seen you fight so many times. I saw when you got that scar and your poor ship got her wound. The Saturn lipstick guaranteed to get pegged one is super good. Saturn's being a horrible little brat online, and LT's like, hey, play the game with the guys again. Oh my god. I want to see these pictures. They all sound so good. Let me look at them. Oh god. Oh. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my god, she really is a bottom after all in the gaming one. I wanna see it. I might be on the wrong, wiki. I don't know. I saw when you got that scar and your poor ship got her wound. Has anyone else seen that side of you as much as me? I don't think so. Not even Europa. But it's different when you're on the other side. You think I don't really know you because I've never stared down the barrel of your rifle or felt that knife nick my ship. I love how she calls her spear a knife. Oh my god. She is so big. She's so large. Hold on. Okay, I found it. I found it. Now I can look at the goofies. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, I found it. It's good. Gremlin Saturn clicking LT, looking like she's yelling for attention while LT has fucking microbrew search pulled up on her phone. Why do you want me to play so bad? Dunno. Do you want to try? No. Oh my god, LT. I mean, Domino's nerd. Okay, wait, what's the Halamede one? Oh yeah, I see. Oh my god, Saturn just putting fucking uh lipstick all over her face. These are so good. I shouldn't be looking at them. And Mars is so cute. The little three mouths she's doing. She's got kitty face, and I love her for it. Best way to develop characters, meme the fuck out of them. It's true. This is what I do with Ellie. This is why she has so much trauma. Well, that's a spicy Hallie. I'm pretending I'm looking away, but I'm not. I've seen this Mars sketch. Hallie butt, it's real. She's got the underwear they drew her in is really cute. I love how Pluto is always smoking. I don't know why they went with that, but it's good. Halibut, like the fish. Okay, there's Saturn fighting. Saturn friend juice. There's a box of wine with friend juice on it. The incredible Lunaterra Bear Lumberjack roleplay. So good. Oh wait, that is Pluto. Wait, no, that's Saturn. And then there's Pluto. Got it. The Saturn in the bear outfit looking all smug is one of my favorites. I love that. Okay. I need to stop looking at goofy art because I'll do it all day and I love it all. So I should stop being a problem and play the video game. Anyway, Pluto was telling Lunaterra that her knife, Saturn the Hedgehog. Good. Good. You think I really don't know you because I've never stared down the barrel of your rifle or felt that knife nick your ship or nick my ship? It's a different kind of knowing. Teach me then, or I'll teach you. Lunaterra gets schooled. As soon as Pluto blinks, that's the moment the Mercurisium attacks. A little out of fear, mostly out of awe. It's a confused move. The first move, which is so unlike her. So unlike her that it nearly takes Macula by surprise. All matter parts along the vectors of inertia that Pluto has set, but these bullets stubbornly curve, bury into her flank, and sting, with a sharp and subtle gravity of their own. Ow. That kind of stings, Lunati. Stop doing things like that. Lunaterra is crushed instantly and she's dead. No, Lunaterra dodged at the last second. Rest in peace, Lunaterra. I like how it was headlights for a second, and then I was like, wait, no, I'm okay, don't worry. No, the Mercurisium is torn apart from every joint. No, Lunaterra is safe at home. She never left. No, Lunaterra hasn't moved, and it's only because she can't bring herself to. Lunaterra is feeling ghosts of the space-times that Pluto has cut off. Escape routes she rushed for but don't exist. It's so funny seeing people play LT Pluto as the first route. This is their first mission. She's dead. Rip to Lunaterra, but I'm different. Lunaterra is trying to think of something to say. She really is. But it's impossible because Krone Macula is the size of the universe. Her seeping nebula glows with the promise to swallow up the space station and Lunaterra and the whole solar system. That's not the way, Lunati. You have to come for me like you really mean it, or that's what's gonna happen. The Mercurium's engines spin to no response. Lunaterra's mind is racing, but there's no thought she can hold on to. Except how disappointed and sad Pluto is. If you give me just one moment, you'll pass my event horizon and you'll never escape. Always getting closer, but never getting there. Falling forever. If you don't figure out how to unstick yourself, I might leave you there. Remember for next time, okay? Isadora Mom name drop! What, where? Huh? What? Huh? Where'd they say Evelyn? Oh, Event Horizon. I'm stupid. I'm so used to, because she's my mom, I'm so used to calling her by her actual name and not her evil name. Lorelai, I'm so happy you put Isadora, dead older sister brainworms in my brain. In my apple brain. I'm trying. My goo brain is jiggling, acceptingly of your condescending head pats. Remember for next time, okay? Don't keep breaking my heart. The Mercurium plummets, and the Krone Macula rises up, exiting the moon like a shooting star, tearing the lab up into space with her. Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars. That is a name reserved for places where human, life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Aries, but like the stringy, inedible weeds that grow when nothing else does, Cradle's crisis is dug in, and we can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked, the terraforming engines are broken, the gravity furnaces are out of control. There's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist. It's an inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship selves can't keep you alive alone forever, and even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation and SES fleet already did. That's why there's barely any of us left and why we can't get them out. What? Why don't I go home too? And leave all those idiots just fucking die in a rock? What do you think we're doing this for? External communication sent on August 31st, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops. You went feral the moment you concepted Vittoria. You felt so fucking smart for it and tying it into a bunch of other things. I fully agree. Oh my god, It makes Isadora so much more sad too, because she knows that, like, there's a reason her mom just is so, like, always so, was it cold, and why she protects her so much, even though it's, like, almost always a little intense, and it, and then she decided she wanted to go to public school? Oh, I love it. I love Isadora. Oh my god. Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. This planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life. And life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It is really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. Enough humans can decide anything, and then it'll be true. Even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted on the Earth is in fact not a human. That's a pretty useful thing for humans to do. No differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens, and then they'll send the real military after us, and we'll die. But if we just hold the line here, for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communications sent on January 25th, 1981 by Cradle's Grace's Irregulars. It's morning on Aries. But what's time and space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled, and the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons of Mars where Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundation are bickering, hold the city ruins against invading troops, and make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. But me, I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space has ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock. But the best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening, we will ensure that it happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communication sent on January 26, 1981 by Celestial Mechanics researcher. Pluto. All missions on Cronus orbit complete. Maiden flight and testing of Cron Macula is done. Report received. Awaiting new directives. I'm heading back to Ares, of course. It's the home of Cradle's Graces, after all. We have to finish up the last touches on Cron Macula. And prepare for the last battle on Earth's moon. Celestial Mechanics will regroup and refuel there, and maybe we can nip them in the bud. And Memorial Foundation has been fighting us there since the conflict began. Maybe this time we can push them back. Send a message to everyone. Time to come home. So we can be ready for the journey. Ready for launch. 25% gravity. Are you scared? Yeah. You? Yeah, but I'm excited too. I'm looking forward to what we could be. Hey, Pluto, how can you be sure? Sure? About what? Sure about anything? Everything is so frustrating, pointless, doomed. No matter how hard I fight, it stays that way. So how can you be sure it's not going to be that way someday? You're the person I wanted to ask that. Because you fight every day like you're not thinking about those things. Well, what's that supposed to mean? I've gotta fight. But we have to. You do? Of course I still think about those things, even when I'm fighting. Sorry, Mars, of course you do. Everyone has doubts like that. Even me then, right? But it doesn't feel like you do. I mean, you make it seem like everything's going to be alright. But you just have to do what you have to do, without even worrying about it. Without even worrying about whether it's right or not. Or it'll come to anything or not. You're a genius, you know. You're smarter than me. It's not true. I just have to stop thinking if I want to just do whatever it is that needs doing. You make it seem like everything's going to be alright, Pluto mom coded. She's so relatable. I put myself on pause. Don't you? Maybe that's why I'm still so scared. Pilot interfacing. Direct message. Mars. Okay, well, so the very first thing you need to know about pilot interfacing is it's the most important part of piloting. You don't really have to know any of this stuff, but since you asked, I'll give you the basic rundown. There's actually a few ways it's useful to know, even if it's basically just to explain why no one can do anything to stop you because of the completely unfair bullshit you have. Any given ship's alpha may have a variety of prescribed functions, you know? That's called the machine's intent. It's not that the machine has consciousness, even if it seems like it does. That's just projection and inaccurate metaphor. Even if you're using a made-to-order ship for you alone, or customizing it for that purpose, you still have to bring your intentions in line with the crafts. That's what interfacing really means. That's why interfacing is the most important part of piloting, and basically the only thing an R&D crews, the R&D crews do is find better ways to reduce the lag. Pluto was a woman who could have been a mother to me. Okay, but you literally already have a mother on Earth. I looked her up in your paperwork. We'll go visit the day we get back. Offer me up as a suitable daughter-in-law, and she'll answer the door. I know she will. There's always a Hallie tweet. I love the Hallie tweets. They're so stupid. They're amazing. Subject: White Void. Origin: Tidal Mechanics Research Archives. Author: Dr. Nix. The fearful power of it is evident, so much so that I hesitate to even criticize it. It is the nature of the tyrant theory that it is fed by all things, including attempts to dismantle it. It can simply assimilate those theories and absolve itself of potential guilt and rhetorical weakness by assuming new forms. And because it has no inherent premise that is not fungible, but the impulse to make all else part of it. Oh. So yawny. Oh yeah. Julia ate my last cough drop. Now I must cry. Oh, it's fine. Far from expanding to incorporate diverse and contradictory ideas into itself, the theory would remove alternate quantum states until finding a solution that would incorporate perfectly in line with the unified culture theory. This is a necessary and inherent step, because in order to prevent any given future of such a theoretical culture to be subject to aversion, the gravitational pull of the culture must be so great that no information about it can escape. As the theory accumulates culture throughout culture mass energy conversion, I'll spend 200 bees to make you get a cough drop. Oh no. Oh no. She's forcing my hand. I mean, you can do it. You can give me the bees. Oh. Oh, sorry. Its gravity would steadily begin to grow, and its energy decrease until it began to continuously collapse into a single coordinate, and no distinguishing information would be able to escape. The interplay of the variant states is necessary for culture to create and change, and this unified field culture would be unable to do so. It would only be able to assimilate and devour. Such a theory would not redefine hierarchy, but enshrine it forever. Far from a compassionate future for humanity, it would necessitate that the complete removal of human variance. All humanity and all existence would revolve around a singularity of the unified field culture, the tyrant theory, a white void, a single conqueror thought at the center of the universe. Tyrant theory, white void, simultaneously capitalism, fascism, and everything enmeshed with them. Yeah. It's choking. Okay, I'm gonna get a cough drop just to be safe. BRB. Okay. Well, actually, well, it kind of does. I'm wearing the Pluto color skirt. It's hard to see. I'm doing it for her. Okay, I got a cough drop. Hey, wait a minute. I'm being attacked. Thank you. Actually, I don't know how visible that was either. Oh well. You can't tell me not to do things that just make me want to do them. Oh no, what are you gonna do to me? Rift in the Earth. After her maiden voyage, Cradle's Graces is testing the finishing touches on the terrifying Chronmacula prototype. Anyway, hi, I like Saturn a normal amount. Oh, I'm getting attacked. It's a chance for Lunaterra to defeat their trump card, but will she close the rift between them instead, or only widen it deeper? No! Okay, that's it. I'm taking away the Lily privileges. You're gonna have to look at Edelgard now, forever. My chat's attacking me. I love you all. You're so wonderful. Thank you. Deep dive. The Oxygen Ocean serves as both fuel yard and terraforming engine for planet Ares, and it's the perfect hiding place for the migrating Celestial Mechanics fleet. But deep down, something is reaching up for them. Is she operational? Mars. All checks clear? Honey. Dual tidal resonator sync clears all checks. Oh, yeah, no. I like my hair a lot. I also like the anime mom ponytail a lot. I don't know, it just works really well with my hair. And it's like the closest I can get to like feeling like I'm doing anything with it, because it's like a pain in the ass to do anything with. I've been trying to learn how to braid it, but that's difficult. Anyway, my hair is very nice. I love it a lot. And now that my roots are growing out, I want to dye it again. It's also annoyingly very resistant to hair dye. So I have to be very particular in what I'm doing to it. Dual tidal resonator sync clears all checks. It's close enough to tear a moon inside out. And you're really still sure about this? Mars, I love you very much, and I'm going to scream if you ask me one more question. What? What? Oh. Ah, Pluto! Sorry, I couldn't just back off after saying that. Okay, actually, like, did my skirt come through on the camera? I don't know if it did, because I was so far away. Pluto Psychic Scream Attack! I know I was, like, back here, and then, like, my chair was blocking it. Sorry, couldn't back off after saying that. Vaguely, it's good. Wait, hold on. Oh no. Good skirt. I'm so short. It's very cute. Yeah, it's Pluto color. Because we're going with Cradle's Graces today. I'm on theme. My soul hurts. Why did you do that? Because you didn't listen to me. I was listening. I'm glad it's cute. I really like it. Very fun. It's really comfy too. I'm glad I found it. We found it at the thrift store, so. You didn't listen. You've got such a big heart and you don't listen with it at all. I don't want you to go. That's better. It's what you really wanted to say. I'm glad you could say it. Uh-oh. Saturn's coming! But you're not going to listen to it. Nope. You could at least, after you just said, not at all. Don't sulk. This was always the plan. We have to show everyone what this weapon can actually do. This is just a taste, but no one is going to respect what we do on this moon if we can't grab their attention first. Destroying the whole Celestial Mechanics fleet while they're docked at the Oxygen Ocean is gonna get some attention. Even if I only destroy them a little bit, it'll be pretty amazing, so it's a job that's impossible to mess up. Pluto is Calliope, but nice. You're so right for this, actually. We've got the bullying. We've got the... honestly, the haircut. Kind of. Calliope is more of a bob. The color's not right, but we've got the horrifying mech. We've got the laughing at being scary to people. Yeah, it's just she's just nice. Yeah, Calliope's full goth bob. It's true, it's true. I still think it's so funny I dropped all those rocks on you. If you keep worrying, what else am I supposed to think except I must seem that incompetent to you? I care, okay? I'm not mad, Mars. But let me lean on you while I do this. Instead of blocking my way. Share a secret moment deep down. Get in a tug of war above the waves. Yell at Vista about breaking everything? Maybe. I'm excited for you to yell at Liar, but what I'm most excited for is to be a bunch of assholes. And maybe kick their butts. The balance shifts because Pluto tugs and Saturn tugs harder. Calling her a rainbow fuck-up sounds goddamn spectacular. Ooh, you should save that. Deep. So deep. Crushing and dark. But the string of pearls has organs that see everything. Smoky and cold, she slips down in a stream of evaporation. Just shy of being the spark that blows it all up. Whatever's down there, but don't play dumb because Saturn knows exactly who and what's down there, is playing coy. Oh, interesting. You have the same idea, Pluto? Freaking go. Hi, Mercury, I missed you. I hope you're doing okay. I'm a rainbow fuck up. Big seam. Cutting off the comms. Well, now I don't have to cut the comm line myself. Saturn doesn't have to play by anyone's rules, even and especially the rules of the universe. It's made of a last-minute miracle. It loves it best when it's waiting on the edge between one possibility and another, tempting fate and not caring where it lands. That was a good scream. Pluto doesn't cross the rules. She's the universe herself. A perfect target for Saturn and the wall she crashes against. She's not playing coy. She's looking for someone to crash against her. From the depths, Crenmacula tugs, but playfully. String of Pearls takes the invitation and yanks back not so playfully at all. Hey boo, you wanna play? I sure do. Pluto's arms open and Saturn running absolutely full pelt to tackle hug her. Yeah. But come up and play my game. Oh, sure, if you can make me. Run Macula is the plunge into fascination, a fall omnidirectional into the end of the universe. Twin Macula can drown the ocean in her gravity, but String of Pearls has the greatest trick. The String of Pearls cheats distance. She can't ignore it, but she can interpret it differently. So, a function of X is an anxious avoidant, infinitely approaching and never reaching its asymptote. Or maybe the function of X can be a curve accelerating rapidly into infinity. Math isn't hard for Saturn, just the results. Mercury would be screaming if the comms were still on, because this is a big risk. The most dangerous and guaranteed way to get the Celestial Mechanics fleet wrecked if she isn't careful. And even if she is. Closing distance is mutual. Pulling Pluto out of the depths of the oxygen ocean is not something she's doing for them. If Saturn wants to change the rules, then Pluto will let her. She'll be the one to set the variable. No matter what Saturn sets f of x to, Pluto sets the force. She can go slack if she wants to. Saturn's equation is something like, the function of x equals the closer you approach, the further I move away. A hard equation to solve. Are you up to it? You love thinking how the Celestial Mechanic fleet feels when they're told Saturn is here to help. Oh boy, they must hate it. Along the equations of gravity, Saturn fires hooks. They wouldn't have hit without the equation, but it was the moment of Pluto's curiosity that they bet on. That is enough. The ocean plunges. The ships rock. Emergency retraction. Max output. Okay. I was trying not to cause so much trouble. I just wanted to delay you for a little while. But if you really insist, I'll come make all the trouble you want. I think this one might be one of my favorite missions. That's funny, considering how hard you've been wrecking the Celestial Mechanics fleet. I'd almost think you weren't going easy at all. Saturn is pulling hard, but it's like trying to pull a star out of a black hole. But something about the way Pluto reacts makes Saturn think it might still be possible. You're working hard. I was just sent to make sure you all didn't have an easy time. Well, these are really good. I've never worked hard, ever. You sound kind of like a liar. You sure you're not still a bit good? This one's especially overshadowed because of the secret moment. Yeah, I bet. But like, that one's also great. The Saturn Pluto ones are some of my favorites because they make me sad. Say it to my face. Okay, if you really insist. I can get carried away too. Saturn's capture cables go slack, and she shoots up and out of the ocean, pulled by the panicking surface crew. The equation input has changed. The number Pluto has changed it to gives Saturn a thrill. As the oxygen tidal wave starts building, the ocean trembles. The fleet sees and nearly capsizes, but Saturn breaks out of the liquid and into the sky, and Pluto is pulled up and out and free. The Krun Macula is more frightening and powerful than Saturn remembered, but she can't be scared now. Well, maybe she can, just a little. But this is what she wanted too. A beautiful solution to her equation. It's hard to know someone if you haven't fought them. That's something she's known for a long time. The pain of wondering if you just aren't good enough to stand next to someone. She'd prefer to know where she stands. For Pluto, who was made to be so overwhelming that in her presence no other option but peace can exist, she doesn't have anything to prove to herself. Win or lose, she's open when others are honest. Between ship selves, all conflict must be honest. It's the only way to make contact. That's the moment she's waiting for. To give life to all the feelings unleashed when she decided she'd let herself have them. The Celestial Mechanics fleet can't do anything but wait and think about how this is probably all Saturn's fault. You're strange, Saturn. I don't know what to think. You think you can win, but you're trying anyway. Or you think you can't win, but you're trying anyway. What do you want to make happen? So sure and unsure of yourself. Just come on already. We can't all be gravitational beauties. Tides come from people, and people are people. Whether they get there being taught or being made. Keep the pity out of your voice, or I won't be having fun anymore. I don't pity you. I was very lucky. There's no reason why I got to be so lucky. But I'm selfish too. I didn't deserve it, but I'll never feel guilty about it. I had too much at stake to feel guilty when I got everything I wanted. I know exactly how that feels. Unlike you, though, they took it away again when they were done with me. Oh, it looks like they weren't able to for very long, though. You won't get anywhere with girls if you insist on believing you had it the worst. Every girl has it the worst. There it is! The line of all lines. You know, I liked it better when I was dragging you. Are you ready to try again? Teach me a lesson or get over yourself. And let me see what's under that envy. Saturn's got a good idea. Even as the Crown Macula tosses the fleet apart with tidal forces, the string of pearls closes in. She can be as close as touch, yet always out of reach. This time, she sets f of x to as close as can be. Worst girls? Much to think about. We are all worst girls. Except for Lorelei. Unless Z wants to be a worst girl. I'm not a girl, but I am a worst girl. One word. A woman made of sausage, worst girl. I'm so glad I predicted what you're gonna say. Of course, that's in the crush of her gravity well, but that's fine. Because Saturn has dedicated her life to being a fucked up loser. That's dialectics. I thought for sure I could make you squirm, but you're so perfect. You're even better at accepting you're not perfect than me. We love her for being a fucked up loser. And that's not to say I'll let up for a moment, no matter how bad at this I am. I love that. It's a great thing about you. You don't know how strong your belief is. You know you're going to lose, but fight anyway. Believe you're going to win even still. I always win even when I lose. I would never go in if I didn't know that. Electrotoxic waves sting the Crown Macula as she embraces the string of pearls. It's like making out with a battery. It's uncomfortably like getting electrocuted, but comfortably like making out. Sometimes making out is getting electrocuted. Yeah, the crown looming over her. I actually thought she would be even bigger than String of Pearls. Fucked up loser, it's fucked up winner. So true. How long can you keep that up? How long can you last if you're crushed like this? What? Isn't this a great idea? Being crushed like a pancake under you is great. Oh my god. She's just like me. Getting secondhand embarrassment from Saturn's horny posting. You're really incorrigible. I love it. But I can last longer than you can. The reflection of the Saturn LT scene? Oh yeah. Maybe, but is it worth it? You're not able to waste time like I can. I'll make it way worse for you. But I can keep this up. I've got nothing to lose. That's so selfish and ridiculous. It's the worst for everyone. I love it. It's really kind of outrageous. Saturn LT was like out of mech and Saturn is an inoffensive dominant position, and this is mechs with Saturn on the defensive submissive. Yeah. Oh, good. I can't believe it. Okay, you win. Even though your side objectively loses. What do you want? Saturn's weapons slow and fizzle, but Pluto doesn't quite let go. Just hearing I won is all I want. You're really right about yourself. You're totally the worst. I wish I could just be like that. I could be just like that. Next time we meet, I'll show you. Girl tells you you're the awful, the worst, and she wishes she could be as bad as you. And then you're like, that's right. That's what I thought. I love Brattern. Do you ever miss Lunaterra? What? No. In case you've forgotten, she betrayed us and went back to Memorial Foundation. A brat? The worst? Stop, you're gonna make me hungry. I had a hot dog for lunch. This brain runs on sausages. Oh, we made this really... No, you're fine. I'm joking mostly. But like we made this really good chorizo stew with a bunch of veggies and some chickpeas. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Oh, we got some like rosemary bread with a little salt on the crust. It was so tasty. Immediate Pluto impulse. Well, I'm not sorry at all. I know you want her back because you're kind and forgiving, but I'm not, and I'll kick her butt if I ever see her again. That's no different than how you two used to be. You two only fight less now. That's the part that's sad. Yeah, I don't know. I think that guy does go to the winter market. That would be really great in the winter, I think. She was always smug, always know-it-all, and always one step ahead. The worst senior pilot, and she didn't teach me shit. Breakups really do turn all your memories sour, huh? Marsal, I will fight her and I will get splattered against a mountain, as if that's new. Oh, we need to put Mars and Saturn in a room together. That's... Shut up. Lunaterra is the only one I feel that way about. I know you pine after good girls way too much. I think dating bad people is good for you. I don't know if there'd be a room left. I have to go through that again, no thanks. The only thing I miss is the expression on her face after I got one up on her. Her smile, you mean? You miss it too. I do. I'm glad you can get to be nostalgic sometimes too. Do you miss the days of the Cold War, fighting against the existential threat too? It was scary in a different way. It was so easy I never had to think about it. Best case scenario, they scheme and ambush whoever comes to check on them, which could be Lunaterra. Oh no, Lunaterra is not gonna escape alive. She's gonna be like that Tumblr post, this like cartoon fight scene, and I get kicked out of it, and then covered in lipstick marks, and then I get dragged back in. Staring through that ephemeral light that was only sort of there. It was scary because we didn't know what would happen, or what it was. But we didn't need to know any of those answers, and we just got to fight forever. It was fun. Until I came along. What do you mean? If you think about it, it was me, wasn't it? Before they even finished the Crown Macula, even just the prototype. In my first provisional mission, I wiped out the enemy in the time it took to blink. And they haven't come back since. Before, it was fun for everyone. You were strong, and it was still hard. But there was no point in sending all of you out to protect Earth when it turned out the existential threat was so weak I'd destroy it with the snap of a finger. That's reversing cause and effect. They just used that as an excuse to stop caring about colonization. Even if it was never a threat to our existence, they didn't have to give up on everything. Pluto also there gazing softly slash mischievously with her hand to her cheek because she loves seeing the girls get along. She's just like, oh, I just love seeing girls get along. It's not your fault. Alien Phenomena and the Pilot Program. Director of Celestial Mechanics, Iapetus. I think Pluto gets kissies too. I think she deserves them. Everyone go kiss Pluto today. Right now. The Scout program was created to be fungible with various other religions or philosophies in direct response to the immediate post-war need to address the growing existential threats. As a stopgap measure, the Memorial Foundation has had frustrations with indefinite extensions of scouting programs internationally. The model, or more specifically, the Scouts, were a victim of the space program's own success in fighting the Cold War. With support for a unified approach to space, in order to prevent human cultural rivalry, the Memorial Foundation has been granted an opportunity to revise the scouting program and change the reactive war of attrition into a proactive one, and confront the existential threat directly. Pluto waits until they've had their scrapping and then is well, my turn. Yeah, that's the most Pluto way to do it too. The existential threat is the alien threat. We must think of them as one and the same. What is not known to us is the alien. The alien is defined by that most similar familiar function. F of x equals that which is human that humans are not. A fascinating logical paradox of much utility in research is the thought exercise. Imagine something that humans could not imagine. Logically, you should not be able to do it. It's inherently impossible to imagine something that you have by definition the capabilities to imagine. And yet, this thought exercise leaves us to begin defining, first, what is human, in other words, what is conventional, and then, by the same process, to imagine what is unconventional. Unconventional? That's not a word, Lily. Unconventional. In fact, this is the essence of conquering the unknown, rather than allowing it the power to rule, and to safely integrate it in culture, than for it to fester in anti-culture. But it will not produce what is truly alien to us. Solving this puzzle requires us to be a part of what humanity does not wish to be. The way Iapetus writes is so insufferable. Yeah, he's like writing his dissertation, except he wants everyone to read it and like lords over them how confusing it is because he did it on purpose. Subject, origin, direct message, author, Mars. Fine, okay, I know I didn't get to the point, but I have to build up to it, okay? The contextualizing information is important, but okay, I will actually talk about it this time. Mechanical interfaces how machines typically work. You're going to yell at me for not being clear if I don't say that, but if I say that's when you've got physical switches and buttons and steering devices and you move them with your hands, that doesn't actually really convey it, because you do those things in your ship self, but you don't use mechanical interfacing. So it actually matters that it's defined as exact mental instruction. It does exactly what you tell it. You can make anything you want to happen, but you have to give it exact instructions. Iapetus be like, you can destroy countercultural movements by appropriating and assimilating them and robbing them of power, and we hate him for it. We hate him for it. There's the physical lag between yourself and the machine, but there's also the nuanced nature of giving the instructions. That's a really hard thing to do. Obviously, most people would prefer to move a machine on raw instinct, or like part of their body. I don't think many people actually get the best results from an interface like that. Unless, yes, there are mutual X. Hey, is that why you wanted to know? Actually, having to pilot a ship manually sucks unless it sucks so bad and everyone hates it. Unless they're Lunaterra because she's a freak. Mars. Yeah. I love how much of a freak Lunaterra is. Big stretch. Rift in the earth. After her maiden voyage. So stretchy and yawny tonight. I know, it's weird, because I didn't really do anything at work today. I mean, I guess I checked on the bees, but that doesn't really... I didn't lift the 80-pound honey boxes, because it's such a pain. I don't like doing it. I'm like a little creature. I am small animal. After her maiden voyage, Cradle's Graces is testing the finishing touches on the terrifying Crunmacula prototype. It's a chance for Lunaterra to defeat their trump card, but will she close the rift between them instead, or only widen it deeper? Recalibrating. How's the stability? Remember to keep the left side balanced. It's fine, Mars. You don't have to fuss so much. I love Pluto pouting. There's no reason to take a test flight without escorts. Especially with Memorial Foundation patrolling the area. Mars! They really could be doing anything at all more useful. This ship doesn't need protection from anything, even if we're exposing the course for testing. And you know I hate being treated like a princess. But you are important, and your ship is too. It's not fussy and annoying to be looking out. It is too annoying. I'll be annoyed by whatever I want. Stop being jealous. I'm not looking for an excuse to bump into Luna T. I never said that. Listen to Dr. Nix for once, even if you won't listen to me. Sulky Pluto, so cute. Look, I'm not escorting you. You win, okay? But please just be careful. I know you think I treat you like glass, but I really... What's so funny? Why are you laughing? Sorry. It's just hard for me to stay mad when you're such a dork. And you care so much. Even if you're not apologizing and still want to be so bad to be a knight in shining armor. Butch knights, butch knights, butch knights, butch knights. You're the only one I can still be such a petulant kid in front of. Instead of the princess everyone loves. Pluto. Wait, you're just being a brat for fun? I'm mad now. Everyone else gets to be, especially you. Stop making fun of me! Remember when, in the academy, when people asked you where I was, they'd say, "Hey Mars, where's your..." Okay, yes, launch permissions cleared. You are cleared for takeoff. She's so bullyable. Butcher knights who rescue the worst girls. Oh my god. Meet me in the alley at 12:30 at midnight. Why did I say it like that? MEAT. Hey Mars, where's your dom? Make up and forget. Fight until we forgive each other. The balance shifts because Lunaterra hesitated and Pluto did too. Pluto passed over the Ares Canyons once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Lunaterra had the chance to make the first move, but Pluto couldn't keep pretending she didn't notice her lying in wait. It wasn't that Lunaterra was ready to take the shot. It's like she still hadn't decided to take it or not. Pluto has been waiting for her to grow up for a long time. She's tired of being the one waiting. There's no time for elegant duels or anticlimactic sniping. When Crunmacula crashes into the canyon, it's the worst kind of fight. Crunmacula's fingers will no longer open or close, but she swipes with the useless limb anyway. The ring finger of Pluto's ship self— oh, I heard Mercurisium screaming. Pluto's ship self twists off with the force of backhanding Mercurisium into the canyon wall, which scrambles to its feet and then falls down immediately. Lunaterra's balance gyros must be broken, but that's not so bad. At least she still has 2 legs, unlike the Crunmacula. Luna T, you really are the most stubborn woman I know. I'm proud of you, but that you're only this tenacious when I'm finally being serious is a little vexing, you know? I mean, I've kept it going this long. It has to count for something, right? I don't want to wreck you. I just really need you to win or lose. Couldn't you do that, please? Both of those are hard to do. Then you've got 5 minutes to grow up. Pluto's reach is longer than expected. Little tricks of gravity. It might not be enough. The Mercurisium was made to not be caught. More precisely, Lunaterra made the Mercurisium something that couldn't be caught. No, don't you dare! Her fingers refuse to close, and Mercurisium slips away. Huh. Sorry, I'm such a cockroach. Don't be. Slipping away is so like you, and I don't know what else I expect. Luna T, I really can't let you get away. Not without an answer. I'm not going to do that. What are you trying to do, then? We promised we'd fight until one of us won. And then we'd go along with whatever the other decided. So why are you trying to take that away from me? Lunaterra holds Cronmacula's severed left tidal reactor. Pluto can go without it, but not for long. It's what makes the Cronmacula so impossible. And without it, she can't be impossible for very long. That core is everything I have. But the rest of me isn't going to last long without it, so it might as well be everything. If I don't have that, I can't follow you, win or lose. I really don't think it's good for you. The Cronmacula makes a leap and crashes into the ground, just short of the Mercurisium. It's just close enough Lunaterra nearly forgets to take opportunity to get a shot in Cronmacula's chest before she can recover to block it. You're going to lecture me about doing what's healthy? You've got a lot of nerve. It's not cute. If we had to fight each other like this, I really wish it didn't have to be with you in that thing. You don't like it, huh? You've always been like this. You're trying to tell me what's good for me? You don't want to admit this is really me? Luna T, I would listen to you if you had ever listened to me once, ever. I told you. I haven't gotten any better in the time we've been apart. I don't want you to not be strong or beautiful or amazing. I just don't want you to be the one holding this weight of Cradle's graces, everyone's hopes and dreams, all by yourself. So please just rest for now. Don't tell me that. I hate this. Hate this. Hate this. You never listen, and you know I'll always let you win in the end. But not this time. I don't know what you mean. I've been really patient. So, if you keep playing dumb, you're gonna make me mad. I said I don't know what you mean. I don't want anything else. I'm a cockroach. I don't need anything myself. Liar! Are you trying to make me mad? Be satisfied with it. I don't have any other answer. If I had one, I'd give it, so drop it. I'm not satisfied. No, you grow up, and you be the adult for once. Get back here! Cronmacula's feet are still broken, but Pluto moves her with gravity alone. Mercurisium's engines flare. Navi is broken. Everything is broken, but it will move. No, not this time. Cronmacula's twin tidal reactors are falling apart, with one of them nearly torn out, yet she still moves. The pressure of the unrestricted gravity peels the patient off Mercurisium. Her steels and plastics are chattering, her remaining useless arm snaps, and her engine wings creak. That pressure is not enough to bring her down, but it's enough for her to falter, and Cronmacula grabs her foot and slams her to the ground. Mercurisium creaks and strains, trying to flee, so Pluto pulls the rest of herself on top of her. Pluto, I'm serious. You're not the only one. I have things I'm willing to be hard and cruel for now, too. Mercurium fires a sidearm. It doesn't dent Pluto. Pluto opens her hand. The fingers don't work, the plasma still does, which flays Lunatera's chassis, but gently. I'm really serious this time. I can't stop for a second, so I really need it back. It's already been too long, so give back that part of me. Mercurium opens her left hand. Pluto's missing reactor is still beating, wildly. Don't you love when you symbolically break your ring finger, smashing your beloved Sword of Axe's mech into the cliffside, and you've physically torn each other apart, and she's stolen half your heart, and you can't live without it or her? Has this ever happened to you? Sorry to be like this, but this chef self and what it can do are more important than me, than anything else about me. Nothing is more important than you. A gentle click, Lunatera's sidearm pointed at the stolen reactor. Fires. I'm so normal about this whole mission. I can see why. The solid light slug misses, just barely. There's a second shot, but it's buried in Pluto's blocking hand. And there's a third shot, but Pluto's ripped the arm off of Mercurium, so it's just the last reflex of a limb separated from its owner. Maximum mech violence, maximum peak drama, absolute peak Yuri. Correct. Yeah, the art on Mercurium is really good. I love how there's a little bit of like corruption on both of them. Like, the head looks great. I love how Macula's veil is just destroyed and there's a crack in her face. I love her arm torn apart. I love the finger broken. This is like incredible art, actually. But that's not all the broken arm of Prone Macula can take. Its fingers make a last twitch before her arm finally snaps under its own weight, and the Crown Macula falls to what's left to its knees. Veil torn and a crack in her facade, you say? What a metaphor. It's why she was so upset. She finally let it through. That was like pure, unhidden Pluto. It was amazing. How long are you going to make me put up with this? What do you mean? You don't want to fight with me. Not a fight for real. Your heart isn't in it, so let's not. No. No. That's the only thing I want. Why are you like this? Acting like I know what I want better than I do? So what if you're right? Of course I don't want to fight you. Damn it, I hate you. After all that, I'm the one who's crying at the end again. The last time it was like this, I was the one crying too. Now I'm powerful like you, have something I'm fighting for like you. That's not you or anyone but me. So let me fight for that. Stop protecting me. Stop making me fight for you. It's so easy to fight for you. If I'm not careful, it's all I'll ever want to do. I'm sorry. I don't want a sorry. You must think it's so easy to not care about you, but it's not. It's easy for you to not care about you, but it's the hardest thing for me. I'm still the one who ended up crying. Again, you wouldn't listen back then either. Mercurium rises, gently brushes away the burnt portions of Crown Macula's armor. The joints are already starting to heal as gravity pulls them back. Almost just as good as new, but a little changed. I know you. Don't distract yourself, dummy. Reattaching arms is hard, so do mine right at least. It was the last time, same last time too. I said, you deserve better. I said, but you are better. I just ignored it because I'm stupid. not because I'm cool. Thank God. Everything is worth it. If you finally don't think you're cool anymore. September 12th, 1963. That's when the first and last artificial colony of the native sphere was completed, in a tranquil bowl of stable gravity at Lagrange Point 5. As the front line against existential threats, a training facility for a generation of humans was adapted to fight in space. It was a colony environment with the life, gravity, and culture necessary for human beings to live, thrive, die, and be born, with the hope that peace on Earth would reign if we won this war in heaven. Without pressure, water boils off of our tongues, and we dissolve into component parts. Without culture, we forget the shapes we're supposed to have and turn inside out into something else. Out of necessity, we created a pressurized environment, exerting enough gravitational pressure to maintain cohesion, all senses, in space. A ship self-defarious through the world. They function only in places, where the gravity of humans is too light to sustain existence. It was doomed for the start. Of course they were jealous. Of the humans the Earth no longer wanted, flying on zero-G wings. Dr. Nix, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Expansion. The two of them are so... I have to lie down. Fucking Saturn over here like, haha, yoo, and then the Pluto Lunaterra moments are just like that. Yeah. Well, also that too, like, Saturn looks up to both of them. So any point she's, like, able to stand on, like, equal footing with them, she's just living for it. She hates feeling small. She just wants to, like, she loves the rush and being able to feel like she's just as important as the other two. And she is. She has to be, or she wouldn't be the character. But, like, you know, Lunaterra's a war hero and Pluto's a monster. The most positive kind of monster I could, like, I'm saying positive, like, in a good way. Or monster in a good way. My brain is very gooey right now. July 29th, 1958. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority. In the spirit of unified human peace and the verified presence of an existential threat outside the solar system, to establish a cultural, military, and scientific response to existential threats, no longer confined to Earth. A growing native sphere where our gravity reigns forever. Safety, research, and expansion. The three pillars of Memorial Foundation's space branch will protect Earth from without, as it has from within. Legendary heroes, monstrous goddess, and a silly gremlin. Just a little kitty. Yeah, I love little kitty Saturn. Free from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint and join hands. All of Earth, finally united. For Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from other humans through peace on Earth, and protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven, would fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really, foolishly, decided we could do better. There are two errors to this approach. The first is that to do better in heaven is meaningless if it cannot be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the surface. It simply did not have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of Memorial Foundation. The existential threat is intrinsic to humanity. You can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. The designation of alien is required by humans. We cannot trick an existential threat into a convenient manifestation, as it always has been. Only humans can fulfill the criteria to be alien. Europa, Chief Officer, Memorial Foundation, Existential Safety. January 2nd, 1980. That's when they blew up the Lagrange colony. It's a real shame. It was a green, wet, and very peaceful place. Now it's a very cold, green, wet, and very unsettling place. It's where we did a lot of legitimately incredible things, like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiment with human bodies and human development, manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space exploration, and did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable existential threat. Earth and the Memorial Foundation Service considers that a failure. But in truth, they're just not trying hard enough. Earth and through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Through imagining, humans chart out what is true. They invent, with human effort, what exists. If an existential threat doesn't exist, we just have to make one. But of course it doesn't work like that. Nothing could be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are humans, so the idea of something alien is unimaginable, because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of misunderstanding needed for humans to successfully classify something as alien. But before they blew it up, we got very close. Iapetus, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation, Existential Research. We've done everything we can for Ares, the planet that would be Mars. We won't return before too long. Wait for us, while we fight to keep you safe forever. Report received. Awaiting new directives. At this time of the year, we'll have to pass by the Lagrange colony on the way to the moon. It's a nostalgic place, isn't it? Let's not allow anyone to take it away from us. Let's protect the memories it holds for Memorial Foundation. And take it with us to the new world we will create before celestial mechanics turns it into something ugly. Send a message to everyone. I'll take care of the past, so you can seize the future. Ready for launch. Okay, I think this is where I'm going to stop for tonight because I am getting tired.